doing, man?
Thanks, man. Everything is fine. What about you?
Well, same here.
Good,
Everything's
good.
good.
Good to hear that. Okay,
Alrighty, so who do you have here?
who do we have? Oh, Rebel Roosters and Soranito. We have here. Hello, guys. How you
Okay,
doing,
our good
guys?
friends. What's up, fellas?
And also, we have Ned. Hey, Ned, welcome.
Hello, hello, everyone. Sorry for me being late. How is everything today?
Thank you, man.
Everything's good.
Welcome. No
Welcome.
problem.
Thank you.
We are ready to start.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it. So today's topic is about KingCoin. Now, KingCoin is just another name for Bitcoin, obviously. So, yeah, today's topic is about the most valuable cryptocurrency out there, which is, as everyone knows, is Bitcoin. And we're gonna have some discussion about it. First, we're gonna start with the beginning of it, the origin of Bitcoin, and how it started, and who started it, and when. So, my first question to you, fellas, is this: who is the creator of Bitcoin? Now, I don't want to sound dumb when I pose this question because no one actually knows who the creator of Bitcoin is. But I think there are just some evidence of a person creating Bitcoin. I think so far some people say it's a guy by the name of Satoshi from an Oriental country or Asian place. I don't know. Well, do you have any ideas about this guy, the creator of Bitcoin?
Well, we are not sure that is it a one person or a group of people. But we just know the name. The name is Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay, and we don't know where he is from or she is from. We don't know how old, and we don't have any specific, information about this guy. But and also we don't know if there is one person or a group of people. It's so mysterious. I like this part of Bitcoin. Okay, it's like a movies.
Yeah, it is kind of mysterious. I think there's a likelihood of this guy being Asian. I think many people say he's probably Chinese, Japanese, or Korean. I've heard this
No, the name
from
is
many people.
quite Japanese. It's not Korean or Chinese. The name is Japanese. Okay, the structure of the name. I mean, Satoshi
Yeah.
Nakamoto is the Japanese name. Okay, so
Oh,
if
thanks for the clarification.
thanks, man. I know all of the Japanese. I know so many Japanese names because of
Yeah,
the.
it's
I
good that
love
you.
what.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I love, Japanese cinema movies, so I know most of the directors from there. So that's why I can distinguish between the other names, other Asian names, and Japanese name. That's why.
Yeah, that's good to know. Because my Chinese and Japanese are so poor. I it's not actually poor. I don't know anything about them. That's why I mistook this. But thanks for the clarification.
Me neither, man. Me neither. I don't know about them you like the speaking or anything, but I just know the name. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Well,
what's next?
can I add something here to the topic?
Of course.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Satoshi Nakamoto as the creator of Bitcoin, but what is actually going on is that this name is just a nickname for calling a small amount of Bitcoin. I'm not sure it's about 1,000th or 1/10,000th of Bitcoin that we call a Satoshi, one Satoshi. So that's but based on this evidence, people think that the creator probably was Satoshi, his name or her name, or as my good friend Amadeus mentioned, the group's name. But throughout these years, there were some people that said they created Bitcoin. Some of them even got to the news. They had interviews, but we are not even sure that even this Satoshi Nakamoto is talking about the name. Now, being so mysterious raises 1,000 questions on the topic, and it's so fascinating to even have this coin. You know, it was completely a new idea, but nobody says that it was my idea. It's so strange, this topic.
Yeah, well, I have my own guesses. I think it was somebody from this project. I'm not going to reveal who, but I do have my own speculation.
Nice.
I think Serenito might be the one. Yeah,
Yes.
and there's significant evidence to support this. Really.
Wow.
Well, he can be the one. He can be the one. Looks like to be the one.
Yeah,
Actually.
Amadeus knows what I'm talking about. Okay.
Good,
All right,
nice.
let's
We
move it
have
on a little
some
bit.
friends here that are interested in being anonymous. I'm not saying who, but
I'm laughing. That's
Yeah,
me. Okay, to be honest,
yeah,
that's me. Okay, guys.
yeah. If
Okay,
you want to get the
everybody.
joke, everyone, listen to the Rebel Talk from the beginning, from the first episode.
yeah. Then you'll get the joke.
Yeah.
To be anonymous.
All right,
Okay. There is no problem
all
in
right.
it. Okay, guys.
Uh,
Okay.
Okay,
Go
okay.
ahead.
My next question. I have two questions at this point. Do you know when was it created and what was its price at the time?
Well, it was the beginning of the 2009. As a person as Satoshi Nakamoto mined the Bitcoin Genesis block, the first ever block on the Bitcoin blockchain. 50 Bitcoin entered circulation at the price of $0, as far as I know. It was $0. I'm not sure that I'm right quite, but uh, I think it was zero now dollars.
Okay,
Anyone?
so yeah, I think that's likely. I think that's
Mhm.
likely.
And after
All
a
right.
time, then the price increased after a time. But at first
Yeah,
it was just $0.
yeah. If you just look up the origin of Bitcoin, you see these websites and these articles with this title of "If you bought a Bitcoin back in 2009, how much would it worth right now?" Yeah, this is a very common title you see on articles everywhere. Yeah, many people regret not buying enough Bitcoins at the beginning of it. People like us, obviously, I would say.
I think
All
not
right.
just many people, all the people, all the people regret for not buying Bitcoin at the first place.
Well, that's kind of arguable. Some people did.
Some lucky one,
They
lucky.
like to remain anonymous. Okay. Well, I have an interesting question from my good friend Ned here.
yes.
So uh, we've all heard the word decentralized cryptocurrency, and now, to my understanding, being for a currency to be decentralized is a good thing. Now, my question to all of you is this: what problem does decentralized cryptocurrency solve?
Well, let's first talk about what it is in the beginning. So, the last session in the Rebel Talk, we started talking about different types of web, the Web 1 and Web 2. And we mentioned the new version of Web, which is Web 3. We talked about how it is hype between people. Now, what Web 3 is, it's being decentralized. So, for example, you have a Facebook account, you have an Amazon account which are contain your name your credit card information, your payment methods, your address, everything about you is on that account. Now, this data is being kept in a central server, uh, probably owned by the Amazon itself. So all of the information of all the users are in this centralized machine, centralized server. All right. What a decentralized mean? It means that there is no source, there's no direct source for information on any type. For example, there is no server like this that contains the data of all the users. Each user keeps its own data. Now there are some applications that are being created even much before the Bitcoin that used some type of technology that doesn't need the user data to be saved on a centralized place. This application most of the time are called DApp, decentralized application. And Bitcoin, what Bitcoin did was it was creating a way for currency which are being centralized by mostly by governments. It makes the currency to be decentralized. Now there is no way to know which wallet of Bitcoin belongs to who, how much Bitcoin somebody has, and this provides more privacy in some level and more safety in some level as well. So this is the benefit, but also there are some issues there. For example, with this amount of privacy, the national security, the society's safety decreases a little bit.
Well, thanks, Ned. It's good that you pointed to the fact that it is not anymore controlled by a government. It's not centralized on a government. This leads me to my next question. So, if it's not dependent on a government or a single entity, then how does the price of it changes and what affects its price?
Well, we all know that uh, the value of anything is determined by supply and demand. Yeah, we probably know. And if demand increase faster than supply, the price goes up. Nowadays, because of the high amount of demand for the Bitcoin, the price uh, goes up so fast. It's somehow unbelievable that something like Bitcoin is in this level nowadays. But some factors that affect the price of Bitcoin is some we cannot deny the fact that some other currency affect the price of this um, Bitcoin, and also I can mention something like that. Um, I have no idea. What can?
uh,
Okay, go
all
ahead.
right.
You, Ned, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Uh, yes. Thank you, Amadeus. I'd like to see this topic more radically. Uh, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. Now, it is a currency. Now, currencies most of the time have some kind of financial supports. For example, if you look at the dollar, well, the financial support would be it's from America. It has a lot of economic development going on in there. They have atomic bomb. I don't know, things like this, mostly political things, and these support the coin value. For example, this is a dollar. It equals to, for example, this amount of pound. This is the way that currencies work. Now, Bitcoin doesn't have a political point of view for financial support. That's why it's different. It's a bit different, and I think it is mostly being valued by its transaction. The more transaction there is on Bitcoin chain, on Bitcoin network, the more value it gets. And as we know that the value has been shooting to the moon lately, it's only because more people started using it. So the transaction rate went on and on. So yeah, that's the way I think, and I think both of them, the financial support for cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, which is a transaction rate, and the normal currency are depending on people's trust. As much as more people trust a currency, the value goes up and up.
Okay, thanks Ned for the description also, Amadeus. Yeah, I think
Welcome.
it all, in summary, it all goes back to the idea of supply and demand, and people giving credit to this currency and increasing its price uh, dramatically. All right, now we're gonna move on to a different area of discussion. At this point, I want to talk about the impact that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies can have on environment. Now, as we know, every time that that transaction takes place, an amount of power is consumed. And I read some data on the internet about this, and I think the overall consumption, the overall power consumption of Bitcoin equals to the power consumption of New Zealand. So you can imagine that's a very big amount. Um, I was wondering if anyone else here could offer any other data about this. And I know this may be to a specific question, so you don't need to give me a very academic response. Just if you have any ideas. So, would you like to say anything about this one?
Well, it is a lot. I can just add it is a lot. That's
Yes, indeed.
it is
Thanks.
a lot.
I agree.
That's it.
All right, all right. Well, with that said, let's move on to the next part. What's the difference between Bitcoin and other altcoins, and what is the likelihood of the flippening happening? Now, for those of you who don't know what flippening is, of course, I know that all of you know it. I'm just saying this for the listeners. The flippening is the idea of Ethereum or another altcoin overtaking Bitcoin. Personally, I think that could happen. I think there's a high likelihood of this one. Now, you may have your opinions and disagree with me, but let's hear those opinions. So, first, let's begin with this. What's the difference between Bitcoin and altcoins? And then tell me if there's a possibility of the flippening. I'm all ears.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
go ahead.
go on.
No,
Yeah, go on,
no.
Amadeus.
Okay. There are in some ways, they are alike, but in some, of course, uh, they are in some ways quite different in other ways. For example, some altcoins use different consensus mechanism to produce blocks or validate
Uh-huh.
transactions. And I guess it's the basic difference between Bitcoin and other altcoins.
All right, that was a very good description of it. Give that description to my mom.
Yeah, it was technical, really technical.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
I just yes, I know.
You are anonymous, like always.
I know a lot about
That was a
everything.
whole nother level.
Yes,
I
yes,
Yeah.
know a lot. I just a lot. Okay, so
yeah,
respect me. Respect me.
Sure,
yes,
a lot of
of
respect for you, man.
course. Well, if I may add something to the topic, Bitcoin and altcoin. Now, let's define different types of coins. So we get Bitcoin for the first cryptocurrency in the world, as we know, and it's a big advantage. That's why it's so expensive because it's the first one. Uh, and we get Ethereum. It's a different type of coin. Then we get other types of coin like Dogecoin, Shiba, and what are they made of? Well, let me define something here. They are not all coins. They are not all cryptocurrencies. Most of them are tokens. Now, what is the difference? You see, the Bitcoin has a blockchain network. Ethereum has a blockchain network too. But there are some coins that don't develop their own blockchain and uses a different another coin's blockchain. For example, there are thousands of ERC20 coins out there that are using for their transactions. These are called tokens. Now, so they are not cryptocurrencies. But just to know, Ethereum and Bitcoin they have their own blockchain, and they are in a fight together. Now, I believe Ethereum or takes Bitcoin and probably be more efficient. It's my guess. It is possible. But for tokens that are using another coins themselves, well, they probably won't be able to do such a
Okay, yeah, well put.
huge
Now,
task.
just to repeat what you said to children and teenagers, this is not financial advice. So don't just invest all of your money in
Hello.
Ethereum based on this. But
I
what
have
happened? Were you disconnected?
for poor
All right.
connection.
So back to the point. Ned aptly put the word fight. Now, Amadeus, who do you think will win the fight, Ethereum or Bitcoin?
Well, it's a tough question to be honest. Um, I guess because now in this place I mean right now the difference between the price of Ethereum and Bitcoin is a big gap. Okay, so how Bitcoin can reach to that amount of money, it takes a lot of time, no doubt about it. But I think people who own the Bitcoin, who a lot of amount of Bitcoin, they never stop like that. They try to make um, their money. It's a kind of money. They try to make their money more valuable. So it's gonna be a big war in near future. That's all I can say. But because of the NFT world, I think the value of Ethereum is gonna increase rapidly in near future. That's all I can say.
Well, that was terrific, man. Thanks.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So now that we're done with this, I have one last question. So this one is kind of personal. I pose this question to yourself. Do you think buying Bitcoin is a good investment? I mean, do you have any Bitcoins right now? Do you even invest in cryptocurrency? And if not, will you do it in the future?
Well, to be honest, no, I don't have any type of cryptocurrency because I am a poor guy. Yes, I'm also an honest guy. Okay, so
Yes.
so
No doubt.
I am telling you the truth. Okay, I'm an honest and poor.
You are a
That's
humble man.
You were humble.
humble. I just tell the truth. Okay, so but as far as I know, the investing in crypto assets is risky. We all know it, but also it's quite profitable. Profitable. You can make a lot of money out of it. So if you have a money, as I'm talking for myself, okay. If you have any money, you should buy any type of cryptocurrency, okay? And if you have enough money, buy Bitcoin or Ethereum. If not, buy another altcoins. What was that? Altcoins, yes. Uh, okay, that's my advice, guys. Yes.
Moving on to you.
Well, you know, it's a vast field for investment, and as my good friend Amadeus mentioned, it's a bit risky. Now, we are not specialists in this field, and we are not giving financial advice to anyone. It's our personal point of view. I think our listeners should hear and in the chat. But my view is, well, as I mentioned, it has its own blockchain, and now there was some problem on its algorithm, and Ethereum blockchain developed to solve Bitcoin's problems. For example, Bitcoin four transaction more than four transaction in a second. Not today. So Ethereum solved this problem. Doesn't have this limit. Now
Okay.
the Ethereum has some more about these transaction speeds, and now a new chain, for example. I think there's always gonna be more chains developing, more coins solving problems before coins. That's why I don't think Bitcoin would be a good option in a long future, in long, but and in the time we are in right now, they are all equal. They are all good if you have the financial science behind, right, to buy a good profit out of it.
Thanks, Ned. Well, a lot of questions for you guys. So yeah, that was the last. And just to repeat, just to paraphrase what the others said, none of what we said was were financial advice to anyone. So please do your own research before you invest. And yeah, um, producing all this content just to it's a kind of educational content, so it's not financial advice. We thank you for listening, and I would like to thank you guys for being here with us. And you guys have a good night.
Yeah, thank you everyone. It was here, and I hope everyone decides.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. It was an honor to be here. Have some problem with our connections. Guys, and in a mass about the situation of so uh, for for this problem. But time where goodbye.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Take
Goodbye.
care.